MMTV, the new generation global network.
He came and put a black hood over my head, and 2 pieces of metal were inserted in me here and here. The scars are now healing. Then they injected me with something here.
These are the scars of apparent torture. The injuries of Kenneth Seguya are still fresh, allegedly inflicted by Ugandan security forces in the aftermath of the January 2021 elections. It was a tightly fought election contest between Uganda's longtime President Yoweri Museveni and his much younger opponent, the musician-turned-politician Robert Kyagulanyi, otherwise known as Bobi Wine. But when all was over, the fight went on. President Museveni's troops raided the opposition offices and actively sought out Bobi Wine's supporters. Kenneth Seguya remembers how he was lured to a location in Kampala on January the 22nd. When he arrived, he says, security forces forced him into the back of a van.
They had handcuffed me from the front. Then they chained them and handcuffed me from behind. So I was handcuffed like this. I was transported in this position.
Then
the person who was sitting behind came and sat on me like this and told me to surrender the password to my phone. But I refused. The reason why I refused to surrender the password to my phone is because I had just communicated with my people. I feared they would want to take them too. As a result, I was beaten up and tortured.
Like him, hundreds of people were arrested and many of them are still missing. More than 50 people were killed by security forces, according to the United Nations. The policemen took Kenneth back to his house. They confiscated all his election-related documents, campaign material, and posters of the presidential candidate Bobi Wine. Then they put him in a cell where 80 other prisoners were already being held.
Inside the cell, people were not able to sit. They would lie on their backs like this because they were beaten. They were beaten everywhere on the joints like this, and their wounds were oozing pus and blood. They used to beat your joints until you could no longer sit. Some were injected with something in the back, and most people were wounded. Really, the situation was not good at all inside there.
He spent several weeks in the holding cell where he was tortured again and again. Kenneth's wife, Harima Ayebare, was also briefly detained but quickly released due to her advanced pregnancy. She gave birth while Kenneth was still in jail.
After Kenneth was taken, and around 2 weeks after I had given birth, they came and threw tear gas into our house. I was sleeping and it was about midnight, and I heard movements behind the house. They came and they threw a tear gas canister right through the bathroom window. I just ran away with my baby, and she still has problems with her eyes as a result of that tear gas.
Kenneth didn't know any of this until much later. He spent 6 weeks in jail, and he was asked to sign a confession over and over again.
The prosecutor told me to say that Bobi Wine is planning to overthrow the government using the help of foreigners, while President Museveni was elected by the people of Uganda. They wanted to hear that Bobi Wine wants to bring violence in the country, yet Museveni has maintained peace in the country. Then he told me that after agreeing to confess, I'll be given 500 million Ugandan shillings, which is about 115,000 euros. I told them that I can't confess to that. They told me I am stupid and I do not understand, and that this is how I will die in poverty.
Kenneth was released on bail and officially charged as a common nuisance. Museveni's government strategy seems simple. By forcing confessions, they want to criminalize the opposition in order to legitimize their rule and regain the trust of the people. But that seems difficult after all that has already happened.
I need justice in my country. People are dying for nothing. People are dying every day, every night and day, dying for nothing, fighting for their nation. So I'm doing this because I need justice on my country.
Movax Media.